Lesson 1-5, Graphing Linear Inequalities. Looking at the instruction, they give us 1, 2, 3 numbers of the inequality, and they want us to graph all of these three numbers, three problems together. Okay, now let's begin to graph this problem. Well, actually, there are a few ways for us to graph this equation or this inequality. You can either give a table value, 2 points is enough for graphing, or you can either using the rise find the y-intercept first, and then from that point you can count for the rise and fall to get the slope of this inequality. Well, let's try to find one of the way. Before you do so, let's try to simplify for simplest form for y equation first, or inequality, I'm sorry. So to do so, you have minus 3y greater than 12, and then you transpose x to the other side. You will have this x plus x become minus 4x, and you divide everything by -3, -3, and -3. Now from that you will have y. Now, since you have a negative coefficient, you change direction of the sign, and then I will work with this. And then 12 divided by -3, you have -4, and then you have negative become positive, 4/3x. Okay, let me write this one in simplest term first. So you have y smaller than or less than or equal to or lesser than 4/3x minus 4. Now we'll find the second one. It's already over. Okay, now for number 2, 4y lesser than or equal to -24. Now I transpose the 6x to the other side, so I have minus 6x. From that, you divide everything by 4, divide by 4, divide by 4. You will have y smaller than or equal to, this is going to be -6, and then this is going to be -2 or 3/2x. So to write this in simpler term, you will have y smaller than or less than or equal to -3/2x, and you minus 6. Now for the third equation, third inequality, it's already given you the simplest term. Okay, now let's begin. Alright, let me try to roughly draw the graph. So it seems like our biggest number in this case is 4. Yeah, so let me draw right in the middle, this one, roughly drawing it. Okay, so you have the x and you have the y, and let's say each of these grading is represent 1 unit. Alright, now for this graphing, so y -4, so you have this for y-intercept, so -1, -3, -1, -2, -3, and -4. This for 1 point y-intercept. Now to get to the other point, this the rise and this is the run. So which means that since this is a positive, which means you go up 4 times from this point and go to the right 3 times. Let's start. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. There's another point right here for graphing. Let me repeat. So once you place the y-intercept -4, from that -4, you count this. The numerator is the rise. You count up 4 times since this is a positive, and you count to the right 3 times since it is positive also. So go up 4 times, and then to the right 3 times. So once you have this line, you have these 2 points, you just connect the 2 points together. And this dashing line, not a solid straight line. This is dashing. Make sure it's dashing because the sign right here just lesser than, so it doesn't have the like this. This one lesser than or equal to, it's gonna give us a solid line, black solid line. I mean, not black, sorry, it's a straight solid line, which means you have no fragment like this, you know, or solid line. The same with this, it's gonna be solid line. So once you're graphing this line, you do the shading. This is, so y lesser than, so when you say y lesser than, it means that you shade below the line. So this direction is above, this is below. So this is our section of our answer. You shade below the line. And this is obviously you also shade below the line. This part. Alright, let's draw this one also. Alright, roughly draw this. This is, sorry, I get this one wrong. Should be y and should be x. No, I see my mistake. I'm sorry for that. But right now I've changed it. So please forgive me on this one. So it should be x, it should be y. Sorry, forgot to tell you. I made a mistake on this. Anyway, now I change it. Okay, now this one right here, -6 for the y-intercept, -6. So 2, 4, 6. This is -6. Now this is a negative. So you can either give the negative to the denominator or give the negative to the numerator. That's up to you. But for me in this case, I'm gonna give the negative to the left, or to the denominator gonna be left or right. So this is sin positive to the left or to the right, then negative will be to the left. So we count up 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and to the left 2 times since negative. 1, 2. There's another point right here. Now this is a solid line. I roughly draw this. So once you have this, now do the shading. This is again lesser than or equal to, so lesser is below the line. So as simple as that. Lesser below the line, greater above the line. Now this one right here is 6, and then you need to count up from 6 3 times, and then to the right 4 times. Let's try to adjust the point. This is for y, and then bring this down here to x. Now let's start. Now your y-intercept is 6, so count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's for your y-intercept. Now you count up 3 and to the right 4. Let's count up 3. 1, 2, 3. And then to the right 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a solid line because you have greater than or equal to. So which means indicates a solid line like this. This is greater than, so you shade above the line. This is the answer section. Okay, that's all for graphing. Let's continue further to write equation or write inequality for each of the graph. Now, our first three problems give the equation asking for the graph. This time, give a graph asking for the equation. Alright. Now, let's write all the y first. Y, this is also y. This is not going to be y, it's going to be x. This is going to be y. This is going to be x. I'll tell you later why it's like that. Now, work on the sign. Now, since this is below the line, going to be lesser than, and it's a solid line, it's going to be or equal to like this. This is above the line. going to be greater than, and since it's a solid line, or equal to. This one is below the line, so we're going to be lesser than, and that's it, because this is a dashing line, which it doesn't indicate a solid line. So it's just a sign y lesser than, no or equal to. This one right here above the line, greater than, and then that's it, because this is dashing line. So that's how it is, no or equal to, like the other these two numbers here. And this one for x, because you see the line is on the x, so this is, since it is to this direction, to the right, this is a vertical line to the right, so which means that is greater than, is no equal to, because the line is a dashing line, so that's why there is no or equal to like this, I mean like this one. Now I will do this one first. This is very easy. So this is by default, each of this grading represent 1 unit, so it seems like you have x is greater than -2. You see equation. And this for the y, since the graph is below the line, it is lesser than, and then now look at the value of the y. From, so it lesser than, it seems like 4, so it lesser than 4. So these are setting, it can be any number but not greater than 4. That are section answer. Now we have 4 more numbers to go, which require some calculation on this. Alright, now let's select a point and try to find a slope. Let's select 2 points. Okay, I will select this point and this point. They are exactly on the corner of our grading, so which means they represent a whole number. Now let's try to find a slope. So our slope is always either positive or negative. When you're counting up, positive. When you count to the right, positive also. But when you count down, negative. You count to the left, negative also. So in either way, it seems like our first slope in number 3 is a positive slope. You can go up positive, positive. You can go down negative, negative, stay positive. So let me go up first. I have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 up here, and then another one. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So it seems like I have 4 over 4. So this is going to be 1, or just 1x, or just x. Now after that, let's work on b value. B value, it seems like the y-intercept, in this case, it is right here on 1. So therefore, y smaller than or equal to x plus 1. It's already give you exactly on the whole number unit, so easy to see. So this number, oh, this one, they obviously give us already. Alright, so y-intercept is 2. Let's get the slope. Slope right here, let me count first. Let me choose this 2 point. Go up 1, 1, 2, to the right, to the left 1, 2. So you have positive 2, negative 2. That is division. So you have a negative 1x, so that's negative x. And then our y-intercept, which is this case, is 4, or 2, sorry, plus 2. So this number, let me choose 2 points first. I will choose this point. Give us exactly on the edge of the grading to represent whole number. And I get this point as well. Alright, now let's try to find our slope. So we count up 2 times and count to the right 1, 2, 3, 4. So it seems like we have 2 over 4. That will give us 1 over 2x, no negative. Now our y-intercept, I think is this, I believe this is a 0.5, 1.5. Well, I'm not quite, well, I have to be sure on this a bit, so let's do some calculation. Questions like, I don't want to guess on this one. So let me choose 1 point to work on this to find b value, like we did in our previous lesson of finding the value of b in equation in a point slope, not point slope, in slope intercept form equation. So I choose 1 right here. So I have y1 sign like this, and 1 over 2 x is 1 also plus b. So it's like I have 1 and then I have 1 over 2. When you move it to the other side, 1 minus 1 over 2. Alright, so therefore our answer for b value is 1 over 2. It seems like our guess is correct. Half 1 over 2. Now our last number for this section, number 6. For number 6, well, same idea. Let's try to find 2 points first. I will choose this point right here, and the other point we choose right here. Oh, it seems like this one, it cut the shading, I mean the line is right in cutting the graph, this plane into 2 congruent parts. Let's get the slope first. So you count up 1, 2, 3, 4. You count to the left 1, 2, 3, 4 as well. So like you have a 4 divided by negative 4, because count to the left you have negative x or negative 1x if you want to write like that. Now let's find our b value. Well, b since it's cutting at 0, 0, you can put 0, 0 right here. So it represents that b right now is 0. So when using 0, 0 and solve for b, it's going to be 0 plus 0, or just leave it like this. Y greater than minus x. Right. Now let's jump over to our last problems in lesson 1-5. Okay, now we have 3 problems related to the absolute value inequality. The same idea of graphing, but before we do the graph, we need to identify the vertex first. And then you find one more point, so that, well, absolute value graphing is like a V shape. Once you know the vertex and one of the side, one of the point on the side, then you can easily guess the other side, because it is a perfect V shape of solving of graphing the absolute value inequality. Let me start by drawing Cartesian plane, I mean xy plane. Roughly draw it, and then this one. Now, sorry, this is kind of not straight line. Roughly draw it like I said. Alright, this is for y, this is for x. Okay, now first of all, the vertex here is 0 and 0. So this is the vertex, one of the point. And another point, you can using substitution. When your x, let's say I put 2, when my x is 2, y also 2. So when x 2, y also 2, and you have one side of the V shape, like that. Now you know, since you know it is a perfect V shape, then the other point you don't need to plot it, or you don't need to find it, we just plot right away. This is 2, this is also 2 from the y, so it seems like a reflection of this point. Once you have that, you just connect all the points together. Now, you created a perfect V shape. Now, how do we do the shading? Same idea. Y is lesser than, so this is a dashing also. I should tell you dashing. This is a dashing line. Make sure you check on that. Sorry, forget to tell you, and I forgot to look at this one, the sign also. So it's a dashing line, and then this one is smaller than, so you shade below the line. This is our area of our shading. solution, the shade below the line. And obviously this one you will shade above the line. Let me start by drawing the x and the y first. This y, this is your x. Now I get the vertex. This is 1, so vertex is going to be -1. So we have -1 and 0. Again, this is to get vertex, you look at this value here. This is positive, become negative, so negative, and y 0, so -1 and 0. -1, 0 right here, that's our vertex. Now to get another point right here, let me represent if x is 2, y is 3. So x2, y3. Okay, I have one like this. Now I have one side of this one already. Now to form a perfect V shape, I will do the same thing because this is the middle point. So 1, 2, 3. I will count the same idea from here. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so I have another point as well. And you can extend it. Alright. Now once you have a point like this, the shading, this is greater than or equal to, well, the line is solid line, no dashing, and greater than you shade above the line. Now, one last number. Let me start by drawing x and y line, y and x. Okay, now let's get the vertex. In this case, right now x0, in this case x -1, y0, right now x0, y -2. So x0, y -2, this is our vertex. From that, let's try to find one more point. So if our x is 3, let me put it 3, or let's put it 4, maybe a little bigger. If my x is 4, 4 become 4. 4 minus 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. So when my x is 4, y is 2. X is 4, y is 2. Okay, now let's connect this. Roughly connect it. And then from that, you can draw another point as a reflection of this line right here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 from here. 1, 2, 3, 4 also. Connect the lines together like this. Now a perfect V shape. From that, now let's do the graphing, do the shading. This is greater than or equal to, so it's a solid line. Greater above the line. Shading. That's it for this lesson.